Boss fights are the heart-pounding climaxes that punctuate the gaming experience. They're the battles that define our journeys, the ultimate tests of skill, strategy, and sometimes patience. But what makes a boss fight truly unforgettable? Is it a breathtaking design, a challenging but fair difficulty, or maybe a twist that pushes us to the edge? Today we're breaking down the essential ingredients of a perfect boss fight, with examples from some of the best games out there. By the end, we'll have a recipe for boss fights that are unforgettable, challenging, and deeply satisfying.
My flesh was dull gold, and my blood rotted.
First up, let's talk about challenge. A perfect boss fight isn't just hard, it's balanced. It's tough enough to keep us on our toes, but not so brutal that it feels impossible. Boss fights that are too easy can be anticlimactic, while those that are excessively difficult might push players to quit. Games like Dark Souls and Sekiro from Software have mastered this delicate balance. Take the Guardian Ape in Sekiro, for example. It starts as a fierce, fast-paced battle, and just when you think you have it figured out, it throws a curveball by entering a second phase with completely different mechanics. It's unexpected, but fair, giving players the tools they need to succeed while keeping them guessing. The key to a balanced challenge is rewarding players for learning and adapting. When you face Lady Maria in Bloodborne, you realize it's not just about reaction time. You're rewarded for observing her patterns, studying her attacks, and choosing your openings carefully. And when you finally beat her, it feels earned. A great boss fight teaches you to master new skills or perfect old ones, rewarding perseverance rather than punishing mistakes. The best boss fights don't just test your reflexes, they test your creativity. They add unique mechanics or twists that make you approach the fight differently. When a boss has specific weaknesses or requires a strategy change, it forces you to think outside the box. Undertale's Sans fight is a perfect example of this. Instead of following typical RPG conventions, Sans fight uses a bullet hell mechanic, demanding extreme precision and quick reflexes. The rules of the fight change, and so do your expectations. This approach keeps boss battles fresh and memorable, providing players with a new experience rather than a rehash of what they've already done. In Hollow Knight, the Radiant's boss uses an arena that shifts between phases. With increasingly complex attack patterns, you have to keep adapting, adjusting your position, and timing every move perfectly. It's a brutal test of everything you've learned in the game, but it's the uniqueness of the fight that makes it unforgettable. When a boss introduces new mechanics that force you to think or act differently, it elevates the experience from a simple fight to a memorable event. Visual and audio design play a massive role in creating an unforgettable boss fight. Imagine fighting a towering Colossus in Shadow of the Colossus. The sheer size and scale of these bosses create a sense of awe. Coupled with the game's haunting soundtrack, every fight feels like an epic encounter that leaves a lasting impression. The music, the visuals, and sound effects set the tone, making each fight feel grand and intense. In Devil May Cry 5, fights against bosses like Urizen are backed by pulse-pounding music that amps up as you land combos, creating a sense of flow and rhythm that pulls you into the action. The visual effects, every sword swing, every spark, makes you feel powerful, even against daunting enemies. A perfect boss fight is cinematic. It uses music and visuals to heighten emotions, whether that's excitement, fear, or triumph.
Good hunter, you've done well. The night is near its end.
A truly memorable boss fight often has more than just good mechanics. It has emotional weight. When you're invested in the story or have a personal connection to the boss, the stakes feel higher. Take Ganondorf from The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. This isn't just another battle, it's the culmination of Link's entire journey, a showdown that's been building since the beginning of the game. Every swing of your sword feels like it has purpose because you're not just defeating a boss, you're saving the world. In The Last of Us Part 2, the final confrontation between Ellie and Abby isn't about saving the world. It's personal, raw, and filled with complex emotions. As a player, you're not sure who you even want to win, and that ambivalence adds a unique layer to the fight. You're battling not just an opponent, but the weight of all the choices that led up to that moment. This emotional intensity makes the fight unforgettable. When boss fights are woven into the narrative, they transform from simple gameplay challenges to essential story moments.
What the fuck? Oh my god! What the fuck?
A perfect boss fight needs a satisfying reward and closure. After all the effort, players want to feel that their victory has meaning. Sometimes this reward is story-based, like the satisfying ending after Link defeats Ganondorf, restoring peace to Hyrule. Other times, it's gameplay-focused, like the powerful gear you earn from slaying a monster in Monster Hunter. These rewards give a sense of progression and achievement, letting players feel they've truly overcome a challenge. A good boss fight is also like the resolution of a good story. It needs closure. Imagine finally defeating that boss after countless attempts, where the game acknowledges your victory with a reward or meaningful conclusion. It reinforces the value of your effort. Games that give you special items, progress in the story, or memorable cutscenes enhance the player's satisfaction. In many ways, this reward is just as important as the fight itself, tying up the experience and allowing players to move forward with a sense of accomplishment. So what makes a perfect boss fight? It's a delicate blend of balanced challenge, unique mechanics, immersive design, emotional weight, and rewarding closure. When all these elements come together, they create experiences that stick with us long after the game is over. Boss fights are more than just obstacles, they're the unforgettable high points in our gaming journeys. Let me know down in the comments what's your most memorable boss fight that you've ever faced. And if you've enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you, all of you. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe. Bye-bye.